All right, so this is going to be the other part of the family that you're going to meet because the last video that I did where I asked my dad for advice, God forgive it and forbid that I forgot to ask my mom. And so I got to ask her first just for some good advice about what makes a marriage happy. So, Mom, step on in here.
Hi.
Okay, just talk. Okay, now, no, and
Which
we're going to
one?
teach along the way. Now, last time I told Dad not to look at that, to look at that. So you look at that over there,
Look at what?
see that little lens? That's the lens you're looking at.
Which
Not
lens? The upper one?
look right
Oh,
here.
right there. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
not here.
Oh, all right.
Dad, I'm going to turn this
Yes.
up so you now have no more access to it. Yeah. So go ahead and give your advice about marriage, Mom.
Hi, I'm Gail, and Eric's my son, my husband Vern. Um, I didn't get married until I was 30, and and Vern here is my first husband, and my last husband. And what I want to say, just a couple of things that, and I think my husband mentioned this the other day, is you have to have
Speak
some.
up, Mom. You got to speak up. You
What
got
do
to
you
tell.
mean?
You got to speak up. There's a little camera over there. Sorry, this is how we interact. It's our kind of weird family. See, you have a microphone, so
Yeah.
you're talking to that over there.
Oh, okay. I thought I was supposed to be looking in the lens.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a low
That,
voice, especially this time of the morning. When I hear from my son at this time in the morning, he says, "Hurry up and get dressed
waking
and
them
do
up. Get
this.
up. Get up. Come
Get
on,
up,
we got
get up,
stuff to
get up,
do.
get up." So
And by
anyway,
the way, I don't live with them, so. And
thank
if you
God.
noticed, and one other thing, and if you noticed in the background, these beautiful cactuses right here. If you read the book Matterhorn, you'll know that I'm talking about these beautiful mescaline San Pedro cactuses that I planted as a kid. Just wanted to point that out. It's the first viewing of this, so I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry.
That's quite all right. And I remember when we went to get these, and I thought they were just wonderful, and they were going to look wonderful in my yard. And then he tells me later what they're used for. But by then they were so big that I certainly couldn't bring them down because I would have never in 100 years put these things in my yard if I had known what they were going to be used
San
for.
Pedro cactus is actually a very magical cactus. It's a protector of your house, so they didn't understand that. And every once in a while, I borrowed a little thing from it. But carry on.
All right. Well, anyway, you were talking about the keys to a happy marriage, and I would say that first of all, you have to respect the person you're with. If you find out there are certain things about them that you think, oh, I can change them, that's never going to happen because
Change is never going to happen.
it doesn't happen because I thought there were certain things about my husband, whom I love dearly, that I thought, oh, I can change him on this. And my God, he got worse. So if there's something you really dislike about your partner, you have to get rid of them. That's it. There's no staying with that person. But the other thing is humor. And you know, my husband and I laughed so many times, and we've laughed through the years because there was been a lot of sadness also, but for the most part, it's been so happy. And when we go out like on a date. It's not like just go down to the local store or the local McDonald's over this and that. We go out on dates, and we still do. We still go to the movies, and we sit here and we still hold hands in the movies. So these are just a few things, and I think I've said enough right now.
Okay, well, that's good. So, like I said, I wanted to put that out there. And another thing that I got some crap by is someone said, "Why do you call your dad an old fart?" Okay, I didn't call him an old fart. All right, I'm just letting you know I didn't call him an old fart. He called himself an old fart because he has this book that he was working on. And I gave him a little dookie. I'm going to talk like that in front of the parents because of the fact that he's got this, all these chapters lined out. And he's sitting there, and I said, "What's most important to you? Is it being famous or putting a book out there? And how long is that going to take? Or doing some YouTube videos and getting the wisdom out there that you want to talk about and share things with?" Which goes into a question which someone asked, and this is why I'm actually doing it. And I don't remember the name exactly because I'm standing over here, but he's talking about hardships and how do you get through hardships. And hardships is something that comes with life. It's just one of the things that happen, and it's your ability to first of all understand that you're probably never going to get anything that you can't deal with. Viktor Frankl in his book *Man's Search for Meaning* talked about the meaning of every single situation. What was the meaning, or what would be the meaning of this learning after the fact that he got out of the concentration camp and he was able to give advice on how not to live and how to survive and things like this. So hardship is a big part of it, and you got to always remember that the people that have hardships around you,
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
they talk to me about this, about cutting in and being rude on camera.
I didn't want to have lipstick on my teeth.
It's okay. See, I still love my mom.
All right.
Okay, so hardships. Now, maybe my mom would like to answer the question. So, could you tell us about hardships?
Well, hardships, they're just there, and you deal with them, and you get through them, and that's about all I can say on that, except that I remember when my husband was gone on the long deployments, and Eric and his sister were really small, and it was hard. I mean, Sundays were terrible because things were different then, and Sundays was the day of rest. You went to church, you did this, you did that, and then nothing. You stayed home all day, and you had your children, and then you met up with the other wives who were pretty much in the same boat as you, with the same amount of children or more children, and you just had to get through it. And there were a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of crying nights, but you knew that because you have a love for this person, that you would make it through. And there was just never any doubt in your mind that this is what was going to happen. And as the kids got older, it was very difficult. And teenagers, it was hard. It was hard, but you got through, and this was it. And you made a commitment then, and the commitment was you were going to stay with this person all your life. And and because we had a really good, strong foundation, this is what keeps things together. So if I had more time, I have to think about things. I know in 10 minutes I'm going to say, oh gosh, I should have said this. But anyway, maybe at another time.
So that's the one thing on hardships. And the point I was getting at earlier is basically you have to have that overall vision that things are going to get better. That's a belief. Things will get better, that there's a lesson to be learned. If you read in the book Metaphor, my friend Stephen was killed as a friend, my best friend, in a childhood, and his brother in the same car accident. And this man also had a wife before that committed suicide. Now, this was a deeply religious couple, and they found their strength through that and their belief in God, and they made it through. And that was their vision, that was their journey, and that was their commitment to God or whatever. Now, I'm not a religious person. I believe in just doing good, and that's about it. So, but it's nice to see that because of the fact that is complete challenge, and it's the vision of a bigger picture to believe in as far as what's important to me as far as like the hardships. And I've had plenty of hardships I'm not even going to talk about here, but maybe the big guy can.
Well, hardships, I don't know. I was born in 1940, and of course that was World War II. My dad was away in the Navy. I was living with my mom and my grandmom downtown Philadelphia in a very, very inexpensive row house with my grandfather. And, and that was our life for 5 years. And then my dad came back from World War II, and we moved up to Pennypack Project. That's right, Pennypack Project in Philadelphia. We lived there a few years, and then my dad used his GI Bill, and we moved up to Levittown, Pennsylvania. The one thing that I got from my dad was work ethic. He would sometimes have 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. As a result of that, I think I was very lucky to also have a work ethic. You can't be very successful if you don't have a good work ethic. If you have weaknesses, you work on them. You want to improve your income, maybe get another job, maybe improve your education level, maybe improve your experience level, maybe improve your relationships that you have. But yeah, you have to keep working. You have to keep working and keep working. That's one way to improve. See, a lot of things that I did that I'm proud of when it comes to hardships is I worked at a school for at-risk kids, as I mentioned earlier. At-risk means they're at risk of not graduating from high school. They've fallen behind for reasons. Could be medical problems the kid had. It could be a low socioeconomic status, and they move around a lot, and as a result their attendance is very poor. But anyway, we got them, and our job is to get them caught up and graduate. And we have some wonderful success stories. We have one gal that graduated from UC Berkeley as a math major, an at-risk kid. Her parents said she'd never amount to anything, and she proved them wrong. As I mentioned she's living up in New York City after graduating from NYU, and she's a principal writer for MTV. Another gal was abused by her family in New York, and she ran away at age 16 to go as far away from New York as she could, and she showed up in San Diego. We put her up in a Casa Nuestra, a shelter for teenagers. She went to our school. She graduated 11 months early. Went to San Diego State, met a guy, got married, moved to Napa Valley, got her master's, and she said, I'm now working on my PhD, I want to be a principal. That was a hardship for her, and look what she did. Another guy was a gangbanger, and he said, you're going to be a dead man, Jesus, you keep doing what you're doing. He graduated from a very, very reputable school here in San Diego called the USD, University of San Diego, as a finance major. Became a very successful commodities broker in La Jolla, one of the most popular and richest areas in San Diego County. And he just called and said, I'm quitting my job, I'm going to open my own company. So those kids had some hardships, and look what they did. And they did it by work ethic. They did it by work ethic. They worked their butts off. They turned their switch on. And when they turn their switch on, good things happen. If you leave your switch off, bad things happen. Who's in control of your switch? You are. You are. So those are just some hardships, I think, that you might consider.
So, and this is the bottom line, is you got to take responsibility, okay? If you don't take responsibility, that's just the way it is, okay? The second part is you got to believe that there's a bigger picture. If you have that, and something on suicide, okay? Because I get a lot of guys telling me about suicide and things like this, and I give them a lot of advice on the side and through emails. This is my belief on it. Hey, if you commit suicide, okay, you're kind of giving up a little bit about your vision, your purpose, your mission here.
You're giving up a lot if you suicide.
Yeah, and the way it goes is, this is my belief on it. If you commit suicide, you're going to have to come back, and you're going to have to get back in line to graduate through this physical reality of Earth, okay? You're going to have to come back. And the way I look at it is the line's really long. Okay, so you have to get back in. You have to stand in line with someone that God's going to put you next to that you probably don't like. Okay, so you're going to be sitting there for a very long time, waiting in line just to get the ability to come back and learn life's lessons to move on to the next level. So think about that, because you can always find light in darkness. So that's just
another successful thing that occurred at our high school for at-risk kids is we started a college study skills class. And part of the requirement for that was that they had to write 3 scholarship applications. That was part of the class requirement. And as a result of those 3 class requirements, or those scholarship requirements, some of our kids would get scholarships. And it was amazing what happened when a kid would get a scholarship, even if it's just for like $250 or $300 or even $500. This kid would all of a sudden get a belief in himself. He starts to think, I can do it. He puts a scholarship winner on his resume. His resume starts looking stronger, and he starts believing in himself. And you can see the change in their determination and their confidence when they get a scholarship offer, because now he's saying, somebody believes in me. It's not a game. It must be for real. People outside look at me. They recognize me. They think I have potential. And the scholarship program has been wonderful. The odds are for every 3 scholarships you apply for, you'll probably get 1. We have a lot of low socioeconomic kids in our school. So we probably do a lot better than that. When we first started our scholarship program at Palomar, we had no kids win a scholarship. None won a scholarship at Palomar High School. That's when we started our scholarship program. Now we average over 75 scholarship winners a year, and that's fantastic. And they're going to college, and they're coming back, and they're talking to our kids, and they're telling them it's possible. It's possible if you work. You've got to have that work ethic, that never quit work ethic is so, so important.
okay. That's probably enough for right now. If you guys have anything else you want to say?
No, thank you. I hope you learn from our mistakes, because it's important that you do learn from your mistakes.
So there you go. Just to key up and have the mom speak and then talk about dad. I didn't call him an old fart. That was just a quick little video to go out there, gentlemen and ladies and whoever else is watching this. Just remember, there's people out here that definitely believe in a better world and a better society, that you can do it as well. So with that said, Hypnotica, Mom, Pop, out.
All right.
Oh my God. Oh, I could have never been on the stage.
Ooh, ow, ooh,
So graceful
I
parents.
could, I kept getting a weft of poop somewhere.
Yeah, I'm stepping in it right now with my bare feet.
Oh, you stepped in it?
I'm stepping in it right now.
Oh God. Well, here,